Take a breath. It takes just a second to turn a life around.
He's actually been run over by the truck.
Yep.
The wheel has driven over him.
On that morning, I was actually heading into work to have an informal interview for a job I'd applied for. Trying to relax a little bit and, be calm, for the interview. So I was sitting at the traffic intersection, waiting to turn right. Behind me on the left was a construction site. There were a whole bunch of construction workers, doing excavations and so forth.
Pull up over there, mate.
I worked in construction and I was managing traffic control.
How you going? Good, mate.
I went across the road to speak to the traffic controller. One of our trucks came around the corner. Started writing his rego plate down, as I do with every truck that comes into the site.
The truck continued to come around the corner. And then a moment later, there was a motorbike in between the truck and the curb. It was just really, really shocking. As the trailer went past, I could see the first set of wheels of the trailer go over his head.
I was freaking out. I thought he was dead.
It was pretty horrific, given that the trailer had actually gone over his head. I mean, it all happened very quickly, but I just knew that someone needed to call 000.
Emergency services.
Motorcyclist's been run over by a truck.
Okay. Just stay on the phone. I'm sending out the ambulance for you immediately.
When I first got to the guy, he was unconscious. He wasn't moving or anything like that.
Now, do you know if there are any obvious injuries?
Well, he's actually been run over by the truck.
Yep.
Like his wheel has come over, the wheel has driven over him.
If you have a person involved with a truck accident, you can safely assume that they're going to be massive or very serious injuries.
Motorcyclist appears to be unconscious.
When I ran up to him, I freaked out. I couldn't imagine how you wouldn't die instantly in that situation.
So, do we know, has he got a head injury or can you see anything like that?
He's actually bleeding from his head.
Maybe his head is cracked open because there was a lot of blood coming from the top section of his head.
And it was a very dark, deep red. The colour to me represented that he was bleeding from somewhere that was potentially life-threatening. That's around the time that he started to become conscious and he started to move.
But stay still, mate. Stay still. Don't get up. Don't get up.
Hey, guys, don't move.
Yeah, you need to keep him very still, okay? The ambulance is on its way.
We were all jumpy and pushy over what we should do because everybody wants to help, but whether we help him in the right way or a wrong way, we don't know. And one little slip-up could mean his life.
No one knows the motorcyclist run over by a truck on a busy road. His body crushed, his head bleeding.
You've got to be careful with the head and neck injury. He just doesn't want to move at all, okay? You need to keep his head and his neck very still.
Sorry, guys, don't move him. Don't move him.
You need to keep him on his side, guys. Otherwise the blood's going to go down. Yes.
It did sound like there was a little bit of panic, that a lot of people were starting to become involved. I need to take control of the situation and say, we need to stop the bleeding. This is how we're going to do it.
He's actually bleeding.
Where from?
From his head.
Okay, can you get me a cloth or a towel? Can somebody go into a shop and get a towel or a blanket or anything like that?
Can someone get a cloth or a towel?
And to do that quite quickly.
We need it quick.
Yeah?
I was almost in a state of shock myself. If it wasn't for the fact that I had that person on the other end of the phone, I don't think that I would have been able to deal with the situation.
Okay, now what we need to do is to not move him.
No, keep him on his side. So he's rolled. He's sort of half conscious and he's going to roll over.
Keep your helmet on.
He went to grab his helmet and I told him, keep your helmet on, keep your helmet on.
So is it okay for him to take his helmet off or not?
No, definitely not.
He was actually quite quite animated in trying to get the helmet off.
Guys, try to keep him down a bit.
Keep his head and neck. Very good. Keep his head and neck still.
Completely still, okay?
Keep it completely still.
Yeah, and just talk to him and reassure him.
He's trying to take the helmet off.
What was going through my head at that time was if he takes off his helmet, he could die instantly.
It's been 6 minutes since a motorcyclist went under a truck. Help just has to arrive soon.
Don't move him at all, okay? You need to keep his head and his neck very still.
The guy's trying to keep the helmet on. You've got to leave it on, mate.
It's extremely important to keep the patient as still as possible because of potential injuries to his neck, his spine, basically to any part of his body because he may have injuries that we don't know of.
Stay still, mate. Stay still. Don't get up.
I was hoping that the ambulance would come in time, that this guy had very little chance.
You're right, mate.
Yeah, that's it. Just talk to him and try and tell him to be still, okay?
Yep.
The truck had run over him. He had extensive bleeding from his head, that he was unconscious. The outcome to me didn't sound very good.
Just if you can check his breathing to see that he's still breathing and just keep checking his pulse, okay?
He wasn't dead, but I was still not sure, whether he was going to come through or not.
There's 2 ambulances away. They're only a few streets off, so they're not going to be long.
I think I can hear it.
Yeah.
Yep. That's them.
Okay, mate, you've done really well there, okay?
Throw back everyone, please.
The absolute very first thing I did was need to get the gear off so we can assess him properly.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Stay with us, mate. Right. Stay there.
When they cut open his jacket, you can actually see the tyre marks of this truck on his body.
When we took the helmet off, it was very obvious that he had blood coming from his ear. I just didn't think that he would be okay after that.
The truck actually ran over pretty much from my lower back all the way up to the helmet. It was just high enough to actually go across that part of the helmet. So this, the chin guard, pretty much the strongest part of the helmet, took a lot of the weight, and the chin guard snapped in half as part of that. Had he been a couple of inches down lower, he would have just rolled straight over my neck and I would either be quadriplegic or dead.
Just 3 months, and Brad is back on the bike. His dad happy to still have a son.
It's just nice to have him back with us. Because we love him. So, are we? Oh, I love you too.
For Ben, not a day passes without thinking about the accident. He was the one who called 000.
To have to face a person I've just seen almost die, that vision is still, fairly clear in my mind. It was, it was really traumatic.
Hi.
G'day, how you doing?
Good to meet you,
Must be Brad.
I am.
When you got him, mate, give us a hug. Of course, I'll stand up here.
Hi, it's great to meet you.
Hi, I'm Casey. How are you?
Good to meet you.
You too.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
It was awesome having you on the phone, because I know that I wouldn't have been able to get through that, if you hadn't have been there.
You did a brilliant job, and as a result, we're all here today, so it's fantastic.
All the best, mate.
No worries.
Great to meet you as well. I don't think you can thank a person in a situation like that enough for what they've done for my son.
I think I just had extremely good luck. Lucky that the people were there, and it's a bit overwhelming, really. It's hard to talk about, but yeah, incredibly lucky.
Do you have a personal 000 hero story?